What's going on, everybody? It's Game Unboxing Reviews here, and welcome back to another episode of All About Disney. Now, in this episode, we're actually going to be talking about Tinkerbell. Yep, we're going to be talking a lot about Tinkerbell, what she can do in the game, her special moves, how she gets around the world. There's no actual power discs for this character yet that I've seen of, so it's basically just going to be talking about the screenshots and her abilities. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first off, let's talk about Tinkerbell's abilities. Now, she wouldn't be Tinkerbell without a wand. Tinkerbell obviously has, many of the abilities most characters have. If they have like a weapon like that, they'll throw it around and, be special effects and things. Tinkerbell's actually been said to be kind of like the female Iron Man in the game, so she's going to be pretty powerful. Like how Iron Man can shoot his repulsors and missiles everywhere, Tinkerbell shoots her, she throws a wand everywhere and, lots of explosions and things. She's going to be a very powerful character. Now, what's interesting to note there is, though, that Tink actually has the ability to charge her wand. So if you charge her wand, it'll actually deal a more devastating attack. So if you want to defeat those enemies, you better charge those attacks. Another thing to note about Tinkerbell is, whilst blocking enemy attacks, she can also heal both herself and any nearby allies. This is really cool because it makes me think, if you're a fan of Tinkerbell, you could make, I think it's called Pixie Hollow. I could be wrong there. I remember hearing that in an interview. You could make like a Pixie Hollow toy box and put like little mini versions of Tinkerbell's friends from the movies and things. And then if they get hurt, you could actually go up to them and heal them, which is pretty cool. And I don't think this has been confirmed, but I imagine it probably goes the same for co-op partner, if you're like sitting next to someone at home and you're playing it, or online. So I believe you could revive your friends as well. Two other things to note about Tinkerbell is, of course, like many other characters, she actually has a special move. Now, Tinkerbell's special move is called the Fairy Dash. This is actually pretty cool. They haven't showed it off because I've really tried my best to find as much information about Tinkerbell as possible because it's quite scarce, they haven't really released that much. But yeah, this is actually called the Fairy Dash. Now what it does is it allows her to shrink down to fairy size and quickly zip around, ricocheting between targets. So that sounds like a pretty powerful attack. And of course, last but not least, it wouldn't be Tinkerbell without a flight. She can, of course, fly all around, the toy box and everything. Sadly, Tinkerbell doesn't come with a playset. It's interesting to see that none of the Disney characters, that is, have a playset this year, so that's kind of weird. Maybe next year, or maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so now onto the screenshots, but before I mention anything, I'd just like to say that there are quite a few screenshots that show off Tinkerbell if you'd like to look online. Basically, the reason I'm not showing them here is because this video is all about Tinkerbell, and every time a new Disney Infinity character is released, they show off a few screenshots that show that character the most. And then when another character is released, the character they showed off before tends to be in the background. To me, that doesn't count as a screenshot for them. It counts as more of a screenshot for the other character. Like, for example, Hero or Baymax, there's one of them with Tinkerbell. That didn't really, to me, count as a Tinkerbell screenshot. Just had to clarify that because there is quite a few if you're interested in seeing more Tinkerbell things. And I think the videos I've already done, if you'd like to watch them, I'm pretty sure there's some Tinkerbell shots in there. But anyway, so Tinkerbell, as you can see here, is fighting Davy Jones with this pink flamingo, I think. I'm sure I've seen that before, I just can't remember the name of it. And we can see Jack Sparrow in the distance stealing some treasure or something. Just typical Jack, isn't it? Yeah, the pink flamingo I've seen before, I'm sure. But what I think is great is that, you all correct me in the comment section. I think that's great because I'm learning a lot. I mean, about gravity falls and everything. It's really a great learning curve for me. And I think when Disney Infinity 2.0 actually comes out and these Disney characters come out, I'll learn even more. And I think that's just great. Here we see Tinkerbell having, I guess, a race or a chase or something with Sully and Jack Skellington. Jack Skellington is one of my favourite characters in 1.0. He's just so awesome. I love his abilities. I love how he can both scare and he can throw pumpkins, so that's pretty cool. Sully's got Buzz Lightyear's jetpack, I believe, and Jack Skellington's using one of the Incredibles hoverboards, which is pretty cool. That's a really fun toy, actually, to play around with, and I think it'll be a lot of fun in definitely in 2.0. What's interesting here, though, is these are 1.0 characters. Now, the cool thing I've just learned a few days ago is that 1.0 characters will also have upgrades. Now, I did know that already, but I didn't know what they meant by that. I thought So do you mean they're just going to be able to go to a high level, or are we going to actually have new abilities? They are going to have new abilities, which is pretty cool. So for example, Sully can now do a super jump, I believe. I think that's what John Vignacci said on his Twitter page, that Sully can now do a super jump. So I'm curious to see if maybe, I don't know, Syndrome can fly from the Incredibles playset. That would be really cool to see. Alright, so last but not least, here we have Tinkerbell, Stitch, Merida, and Maleficent. Now, first things first, I need to note that, yes, I know I did say at the beginning of the video that I didn't count a screenshot of a character if they're in the distance. But the thing is, I didn't want you all to be so excited to see the video and then come to it and only find 2 screenshots. I wanted to at least try to find one more that gave us a good look at, a Tink. But anyway, Tinkerbell is holding Darkwing Duck's grappling gun, I think it is. Stitch has got his blasters. Wait for the Stitch video. That is going to be a good one. Stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to tell you everything about Stitch. Merida's using, I think it's Buzz Lightyear's blaster from the Toy Story playset, and Maleficent is using her magic, of course. Now, Tinkerbell's the Darkwing Duck grappling gun that she's using, I believe that will probably be similar to the... I'm trying to think. It's like Elsa and Anna from the Toy Box pack. If you get Anna, you can actually unlock like a grappling hook anyway, and you can you basically point where you want it to shoot, and she'll throw it, and then she'll fly right to that location wherever you've thrown it at. So I think it'll be probably similar to that. Alright guys, so that's pretty much everything we know about Tinkerbell so far. We'll of course learn so much more when she actually releases, which I believe is in November, along with all the other 2.0 Disney characters. So she should be a very cool character to play as. Alright guys, I want to thank you all for watching this episode of All About Disney. Stay tuned for lots more news on Disney Infinity 2.0 and LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.